Guys, welcome back to the channel and a new video. What was our password to Copart? You can see by the thumbnail, in 4 days, we've now bought 5 new vehicles. 2 of them are here and 3 of them are actually on their way. And they're on their way. In fact, let's go outside and I'll explain why they're on their way and I'm not going to get them. So of course, I said, we will never ever be buying another one of these. Just quickly, as we're walking past, Tego sold, being picked up tomorrow. A Fiat 500. But not just a Fiat 500. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, what are you laughing at? It's not funny, mate. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll also know that this truck is now dead. I don't know. I mean, I've had to call Luke from MKR to come and save me. And I was actually going to an appointment this morning, so it's all been a mad rush. And I actually went and got this really, really early. And can I actually say why you bought this? Because
What shall I say?
Yeah, of course you can. I've kind of left it that I've given you the Copart password, and you have gone mad on that.
Yeah, but it is that time of year.
It is that time of year.
Have a bargain, Rob.
The trouble is though, I said in the previous video, I bid on 28 cars and won 25 of them. You've bid on 5 and won all of them.
Oh no.
Just no more.
No.
No, mate, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, fire away.
Yeah, so my girlfriend's daughter passed her driving test last week. So this is going to be for her for Christmas.
Right.
Although she already knows about it. And I don't think she's going to get it for Christmas now. The way, well, we got 4 days left.
We try, won't we?
We're going to try.
Jump up, mate.
We're going to try.
I need to be careful because I got my. Do you know what I can say? I've just been to a funeral, so I've got my shoes on. I don't want to slip over and break my neck. Fire her up, mate.
But this one came up at Rochford, and 37,000 miles.
Yeah, 37,000.
All on the button.
And it's just like next to no damage. It is an aircon car with electric windows, glass roof, seat safe.
Yeah.
Can you flick that up? Every time I used to mention it, people used to say, what are you going on about, Rob? Seat safe. Do you yank the front? That's it, now flip it up. The early Fiat 500's all got a little safe under the seat.
Isn't it? Locking wheel nut key in there.
And also, Chris, there in the door panel.
Book pack.
Book pack.
So yeah, we'll show the damage.
Yeah, nice little car, mate. Nice little car. Category N.
Yep.
Yeah, not been got at all. Got all its spare wheel in there and everything.
Same old thing with the Fiats, Rob. The seats are a little bit, I don't think it opens, does it?
Mate.
The seats are a little bit grubby.
Oh, I've got a jet washer to sort them out. We got the Karcher steamer now and the Karcher wet vac. So, very similar to the BMW M4 damage.
Yeah, not quite so severe.
Bit on the front. And
nice little bit of that. Gonna want a wing. And probably a front bumper, isn't it? I think the headlight might have the lugs broken.
Yeah, but they're £4.50 for a complete set.
So,
and that's not broke either.
No.
Look, that wants a lug set on it.
So
I'll get you a wing in colour and possibly a bumper as well.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, a couple of the wheels going to want a refurb. Have you noticed that? It's got
tyres.
4 brand new matching tyres all the way round it.
Bit of a bonus. So
You're happy with the little thing, aren't you?
yeah, but it should be over the moon with that.
And it was worth the money.
We've shown her pictures. Mum showed her the pictures. She's well happy. So yeah, it would just be nice to have got it done by the weekend.
We can try, mate.
We
can
can.
try. Listen, I can get on with that. You know I'm capable of fixing that.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
It's can you do that by the weekend?
It's just, obviously everybody probably this week is trying to get what they've got done at the paint shops.
Don't worry about that. I'll get that painted for you if you can get that fixed.
Yeah.
I'll get it done for you. I will call in a favour. Leave the front to me.
Yeah.
We'll leave that with you.
All
I'm now going to go out. I'm going to go and jump in my van. I'm going to go and get all that today.
Brilliant.
I'm going to go and source all them bits. Do we need a door?
I don't think so. No.
There is a little dent in the edge of that, which is a shame.
But the car's got to have a bit of paint, so it has got a little ding in the door there as well. So we'll then end up having the side painted, won't
Let's
it?
get it unloaded, get it in the workshop. You can crack on with that,
Okay.
and I'll go and get you some bits.
Cool.
So genuinely not stopped laughing since Chris pulled the trigger and bought this one, but it does look a nice tidy little car, and of course it has been such a long time since we did one on the channel, so I've just unloaded it off the truck and then give it a good clean. It's a white car, there's a few repairs to do, and it was pretty mucky, so we wanted to get all that off just before we pulled it into the workshop. So into the workshop, and Chris got cracking straight on, got it up on the ramp and made a start on that damaged area, stripping it off just really to give me a bit of a list of parts to get for it. See, there's a couple of bumper bars underneath there, a lower one and upper one. Just wanted to check, see if there was any damage on them. There's also like a little just want to put it out there, everyone, do not give me an hard time. This is for Chris's girlfriend's daughter. This weren't my idea. No, do you know what, regardless of what video we do, people do enjoy it. And it was very recently someone said, when was the last time you done a Fiat 500?
Yeah, that's right.
So
and, I mean, someone might have seen you with it on the truck on the way back from Rochford.
somebody did see it on the back of the truck. Because
go.
someone said, did you have a Fiat 500
Did I?
and was you broke down on the side of the road, Rob?
Yeah.
I didn't answer, obviously. Chris, as a slight change of plan there, Chris cracked on, pulled it in, and I was doing something outside. And you've got rid of all the damage and exposed nothing. There's no hidden damage.
Bracket. Just this bracket needs a little bit of straightening.
Just folded.
That's it. So that's all good, isn't it?
Needs a front bumper and daytime running light. Needs a front wing. But of course, I've already told you.
Yeah.
I've spoke to Reclamet and they've got it all down there.
And you're gonna?
I'm going to shoot down and get it.
Brilliant.
It's in colour, but it's not going to match. Not with this. No. There's too many different shades to this.
The car's going to need paintwork, isn't it?
It is going to
need
need
paint
paintwork.
on the door and obviously on that quarter. So
yeah, it's caught that there. There's a dent in it there.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got that bit on the quarter. So I'm going to head straight out now. And Chris is going to probably crack on getting that straight and just wait for me.
I'll clean this glue off of here, ready to glue the new wing back on. I've got to straighten that up a little bit there. I've done that, just prising it away.
I've done so many, mate.
You know the score, don't you?
It's more of a glued on with a seam sealer, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
I'll just show that on the back. And these Fiats, they are, I mean, getting one of these wings off second hand was always a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I did get good at it in the end. I was doing so many of them. But yeah, like Chris said, you can't help but get a bar in there and cause a little bit of damage on that. But he'll get that straight, get that cleaned up, and I'm going to jump.
Be ready for the body shop pretty quick, this one, I would hope, for the paint shop.
Yeah, be nice.
Yeah,
be nice, won't it?
Turn around a bit quick for her. So, yeah.
That's weird, I just noticed, sorry, it's got black wing mirror caps on it. They're meant to be white.
Are they?
Yeah, they are on a lounge, yeah.
Right, okay.
Right, let's go and get the bits. Wanted to check on that. Onto the bit of damage on the quarter panel, so of course remove all the paint with the DA there. And then straight in with the dent puller and start pulling out as much of it as you possibly can. The more you can get out, the less filler work you're going to need. So only Chris likes a tiny amount of filler. The less the better, and that is the way forward. So you can see there, most of that has come out and it looks brilliant. So bit of luck, Reclamet, they did only have one bumper, and you can see it has had a bit of work before. Still well usable, but it does need a fair bit of work on it, and it's had some paint before, but that's nice. Got a wing in colour. Again, this car's going to need some paint down the side, so we're not expecting that to match, but it's nice to get a nice, straight, clean wing, and there's nothing going to stop us from bolting that on. And then, of course, you see on that bit of time lapse, you made very light work of that, and got it done. I know you're keen to get this done and get her on the road, aren't you? So,
that's right, yeah.
But I mean, that's done, is it? That's ready for
a little tiny bit more here, just to try and get a little bit more of this out, and that will be done then. Yeah, it's got the profile there, hasn't it? So,
I don't think that was part of the same accident, do you? I think that's been done previously.
I don't know. You never tell, can you? Really? I don't think it probably looked half so bad until someone opened the door on the wing.
Yeah.
That's what made that look a lot worse.
Yeah, they always do. It squashes the wing right in, doesn't it?
That's right.
I don't know if I have mentioned somewhere in this video, I probably have. It has got 4 brand new matching tyres on it.
Yeah, I think you did on the lorry, yeah.
So it has been quite well looked after, and it all looks very nice and presentable under the bonnet. Right, we'll let you carry on then, mate,
All
and
right, mate.
get the rest of that out and
Yeah.
get some bog, and
That's it.
I'm messing around outside with something else.
Cool.
So straight onto a bit of bog work, or filler work as you'd like to call it. So a bit round the top, a bit on the arch. Chris likes to, as you can see, get the shape pretty much bang on before he starts rubbing it down. Sometimes you have to take it out and have a couple of goes at it, but this one looks like he's going to get it all in one hit. And of course, if you do it in one hit, it's less work again.
Been a while since we was down here. Well, it certainly is, isn't it? Kent Auto Salvage. I rung him up and said, have you got a white passenger door? Ultimately, we want to buy one, save that money and save all of that work. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the one I'm going for, number 5. And the reason I've gone for this one, 2012, so it may be a good match. Again, it's going to need painting, but I've been right over it and there's not actually any dents in it. I've looked right down the edges, there's no little car park dinks, no ripples in it anywhere. The only bit was that, and then of course you can see I've wiped it and it started coming off. So I'm going to get that off. In fact, there's just the wiring left to do, and I'll get that back to the yard, get that fitted. I did just ring Chris because this is gloss black, and then I noticed I was actually going to go for this door on this one because it was already stripped. I thought that'd be easy, and straight away I noticed this must be an S because it's got the side skirts on it, and then that there is actually matte black, and so is that. So we've gone for that one. Let's get it off, get it back to the yard and get it hung on the car.
So get that wing removed and then straightening up that, getting the wing fitted, getting that bracket straightened up so that the wing sits nice, and then getting the bumper fitted on there and bolted up before he actually does the repairs on it. So going to put a couple of staples in here and then a couple of holes all the way through so that the filler...
So Chris really did crack on with that one, and that's the front bumper. And do you know what, actually? He's used the original front bumper. He put some of those metal staples in it and said it actually turned out this one was going to be the better one to use because it was only broke here. Nothing was broken here. You can see the light actually broke off of it. So we're going to use the light out of the bumper that we got from Reclamet, and then he's put a little repair here on a bit of damage, and of course those staples in there, and then filler on the inside and the outside. And I believe you put some holes through there, but so 10 little 3mm holes in there so that there is all the strength and rigidity is back in there. That wing, unfortunately, where you pull them off, there's no getting away from it. You do cause a little bit of damage in there, and it does make these wings ripple a little bit, but that is it. Chris has tapped that down. That's the only piece of filler it's going to need, and you can see the gap is all lovely. And then the quarter panel, that's all ready to start flattening off, all masked up, ready to start rubbing down that filler, and I think get some primer on it. The door we're not worried about anymore, of course, because we've got that nice new one. Just got off the phone to Josh. He's getting on really well with the recovery truck, the gearbox. So he has said that he's going to do a little bit of recording. So we're going to leave Chris to crack on with that. And if Josh, whatever video Josh does do, I'm going to include now. So huge thank you to him. Of course, we just didn't get time to crack on and get the truck done. Too much done. Trying to get all the videos done ready for Christmas.
Right, so underneath the truck, got it up in the air. Can't see sort of too much wrong with it, to be honest. Just wondering if the gearbox had actually exploded or something, but it all looks pretty good. Yeah, the drive shafts are all good. Yeah, so we'll pull it out. I mean, I've got to be honest, my initial sort of reaction on this is the clutch has exploded, but we won't know until we get the gearbox out. So I suppose that's what we'd do. Yeah, see the gearbox is working as far as I can tell. So we'll drain the oil on it first, see what the colour of the oil looks like, and then we'll look into pulling the box out. And here's a little tip: always do the sun plug up, even though you're just putting it in temporarily, just do it up, and it stops it getting forgotten about and coming out on the motorway. Probably going to be quite difficult to film all this, but basically I'm going to be doing everything from the bottom. The gearbox mount fortunately undoes underneath here. Take the slave cylinder off, and basically you can get to everything from the bottom, so we won't even be going under the bonnet on this one. Yeah, take the shock out, take the lower, take the shock out, take the lower arm off, get that drive shaft out, and probably do the same for this one. Well, I'll leave it in there for the time being, just to get the box out and see what's going on. So in the end, what I've done, I've just put a chain. You can use an exhaust clamp round the wishbone. I couldn't get a hand, so I just wrapped the chain around it, big bar, and you can pull it down. It gives you a bit of control, and as soon as I pushed that over, it came straight out. It wasn't seized at all. So that's out. Drive shaft, middle nut, simple as you've seen plenty of times. Just pulling them out. So I'll get that drive shaft out, and then it's going to be too difficult to show on film, but there's a few bits at the top I'm going to take off. Get this engine mount off, get a stand under the engine, and start lowering it down. Right, I think this might have had some work before, because that bolt there was missing on the engine mount. Everything's coming apart easy, and you can see some cable ties on the gear link. It's not that's a problem, it's doing its job, it really ain't a problem, but just some telltale signs that someone's been here before. So got a few bits to go, got the earth there, and top bolts, these gear linkage cables, and then yeah, just bellows and bolts, and it should be out. Oh, I can see the problem. There is a secret harness as well, I'll share it with you. Don't know if Rob will be too happy, but now, we all know that Rob always raves on about his automatic vans, okay? He loves an auto, he always says that. And the reason behind that, the secret is he actually can't drive. And there's the proof, look. I am of course joking. This clutch does look quite old actually. But yeah, the clutch is completely exploded. And that was the fault of the van, not the gearbox. The clutch had exploded. And just to show you, that's the centre plate spinning, so the gearbox would have just been spinning freely basically. And yeah, the clutch felt fine. The pressure plate's alright, but the friction plate's exploded. So bit frustrating for him, but nothing you can do. It's annoying because sometimes when the pressure plate goes or the slave cylinder goes, you can kind of limp it back, just changing gear about the clutch. But there is nothing you can do with that other than get it recovered, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll whip it out and take a closer look. So fortunately the flywheel looks absolutely perfect, really. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We'll give it a scuff up, but no marks. Doesn't even look like there's any burn marks. You can see some marks on the camera, but they actually wipe off. It's just dust. So yeah, quite lucky there. Spigot bearing's absolutely perfect. And if we have a look at the clutch, that clutch has been a clutch to... No, I'm not going to say it. Right, what I think's happened here, looking at the bits of friction material we've got, they are incredibly thin. Now, I'll show you on the new clutch, but I actually think it has just got to the end of its life, and it has worn the friction material just around to the rivets, because if you have a look at some of those rivets, you can't really see it on camera, but they've just started wearing. So I actually, it sounds really stupid, but I actually think it's been, yeah, it hasn't exploded, it hasn't been sort of slipped to death, it's just literally come to the end of its life. And sometimes I find, from what I suspect, obviously it's exploded, we don't 100% know, but it has just worn to the end of its life, literally just worn to the point of the rivets to hold it together, and once they go, there's nothing to hold it together, and it will destroy itself in seconds. And that was obviously the noise you could hear. But yeah, nothing even looks like it's been slipping and got hot. Nothing looks bright blue or anything. So it's yeah, it's done. I suppose, you know, being in a recovery truck, it's done quite well. And that looks like a Renault part number to me. So I'd say that might be original. Just wonder why the gearbox has been out, unless it's had a gearbox replacement in its life maybe, and they didn't put a clutch in. Or they have done a clutch and they've put a genuine one in. One or the other, because, yeah, I don't know if there's any date stamps on that, but I'll stop waffling. So we'll clean up the flywheel. We'll just scuff it up. I'm not going to show that, but basically we just scuff it up just to take the shine off of it, and then we'll give it a good clean out. We'll clean all the inside of this out, and then we'll show you what we do here. We clean this, so we'll clean this with some Scotch-Brite, get that nice and clean, and then we'll use a dab of silicone grease on it when we put the box back in it. But just to explain what I meant about the clutch, so this is the clutch plate. I'm sure a lot of you have seen them before, but there's two friction bits of material riveted together, and you can see when it gets down to the rivets, it doesn't look like a lot of material, to be honest, but obviously it does last quite a significant amount of time. But once it gets down to those rivets, there's nothing holding the friction material together, so once it bursts a couple off, that's it, it just explodes. And if you look at the piece we can find here, you can see the line in the middle, so this is like obviously a segment, sort of like that, and you can see it's completely worn that segment away. You can see that bit is too wide to be one segment, so it's worn right down. So the clutch is just unfortunately worn out, but we've got a nice brand new one, new slave cylinder here, and Saks usually give us some grease to go on those fingers, but it doesn't. Oh yep, there it is. There's the grease that we'll put on the splines. So what we'll do, we'll check that this fits the gearbox first hand. We'll check that they've got the right, yeah, that's the right slave cylinder. So some of them have got 2, some of them have got 3 bolt holes. Now, this can be a bit controversial, definitely can be. I like to pre-fill these slave cylinders up. So I like to fill this slave cylinder with brake fluid and get the air out. Some people cry about that and say you shouldn't until it's fitted. I don't really buy all that. You know, once you put the gearbox in, there's no control over you pushing that in anyway. So I like to pre-fill them, and it saves a lot of effort on trying to bleed these out, because the bleed nipple is before the slave cylinder, so they can be a right pain. So I like to pre-fill them, and I've never had a problem doing that. So I've got the new, or the second-hand gearbox up. This is one we've been through. You can see where we've been through it, the sealant on it. It was some time ago. I can't remember why we got this on the shelf. I know we built it up for something. I don't know if it didn't come in, or it was one that we bought to sell on or something. I really can't remember. But yeah, we had it on the shelf, so it's been there for some time. I mean, it's been kicking around for a good 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it wasn't me that opened this one up, but one of our other lads had done this. So we're going to get the clutch slave and everything on it and get it bolted up. Right, so what I like to do, just using some Scotch-Brite, just go in and clean all the individual splines up, like so, and then we'll brake cleaner it all off, clean it up, and then we'll put that grease on the splines, just wipe it around the splines, put the clutch plate on and off, wipe the excess grease off, and then assemble the clutch together. So that's a new slave all in, new pipework in, bit of grease. Now, you don't go mad with this grease, you do wipe off the excess. Obviously clutch dust will stick to this grease, so you want to use as little as possible. You don't want it dry, but you don't want it grease everywhere, and you do not use anything like copper slip or aluminium grease. Copper slip and aluminium grease, brilliant, got their places, but they aren't actually a lubricant. They are an anti-seize. There's a big difference. Copper is sometimes used in things like brake pads, I think mainly on bikes. There is a friction sort of property to it, so that is a lubricant. That grease that they give you is a lubricating grease, not an anti-seize, and that's what you need, because the clutch needs to freely move back and forward. And there's the new clutch in. Oh, just trod on my gun. I've lined that up by eye. If you're doing a clutch yourself, there are tools. There's a plastic type tool that goes in and screws in, or some quite inexpensive dowels. But like I say, I've just lined it up by eye. It's just kind of what we normally do now. But that's all in and ready to go. I am leaving the drive shaft. I was going to pull that drive shaft out to put it back in, but there's so much room that we'll give it a go. that is all the everything all bolted up now. The last thing to do is put some oil in it. There we go, that's tight. There we go, that's tight. And you just, simple as you just fill this till it comes out. So we put some nice and mobile oil in it. It's just started to flow out. Maybe it's 2.4. We'll keep this aside anyway. But that's it. That's literally how you fill them up. It's just till they drip, and then tighten it up, and that is job done. Oh, we've got a clutch pedal. That's good.
Both sides onto that rear arch, shaping it up. Got the extraction system there, so while he's rubbing it down, all the dust is getting sucked away and you're not breathing any of it in. And you can see in one ear has got the shape there, and that's not going to need any more filler. Maybe a little bit of stopper for some pinholes. So huge thank you to Josh. The truck is back on the road and as good as ever was before. Now, I do know earlier in the video he was going to put the original gearbox back in, but he did say it had a bit of a weep around one of the drive shafts and he didn't want to start messing around putting a new clutch in it. He might as well put a gearbox in that he trusted, that he knew that they'd already rebuilt, and they'll just rebuild ours and then use that next time. Also, so huge thank you to Josh. Also, Chris has been very, very busy and he's got the little car ready for some primer. So he's going to be priming the edge of the front bumper, the wing there, and of course that rear quarter. And again, tiny little skimmer filler in there, and you can see the little dark patches is just stopper. And again, you can see how transparent it is there. So Chris is knocking up a bit of primer. I'm going to leave him to it, and I'm going to actually get out of the workshop while he does the paint. So all done, and into a bit of primer, ready for that guide coat to go on. So the next day and all done. No more damage on this little car, and I'm sure Chris is going to be happy, and I'm sure his girlfriend's daughter is going to be very happy too. Last little job to do, bit of guide coat on there. Chris will get this absolutely bang on, and then we can move up to the paint shop with it, and I think that is going to be it. There's going to be no numbers on this one. There's going to be nothing like that because it's not going anywhere. It's staying in the family. So let's let Chris crack on and get this one up the paint shop. Spots. So Chris is just rubbing all of that guide coat off until you can't actually see any of it. Then that panel is prepared and actually ready for the paint. Don't forget, it's all in the preparation. That's what everybody says, including the painters. So onto the front wing, and exactly the same as the back, and a little bit on the edge of the bumper there. So all flatted off on the wing, little bit round the arch. Move on to that front bumper, and I think this is complete and ready to go to the paint shop. And he is there with it, guys. All flatted off, ready to go. This one's going over to Luke at LF Body and Paint. We're just going to get the wheel on it, get it down off the ramp, swap that door over, load it on the truck and get it off over there and get it done. Thank you everybody for watching. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up. Huge shout out to Josh at JR Vehicle Services. Again, his number is in the description down below. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share, and we'll look forward to seeing you all very, very soon in the next one.